Hi everyone, this is Lauren. This is my week 2 presentation. The two theories that I'm going to be talking about is Henri Fayol's 14 Principles of Management, and then as well as Mary Parker Follett's The Giving of Orders in our Classics of Public Administration textbook. And then I'm also going to be discussing the concept that holds true today, and then as well as the one concept that may need to be updated or changed as well. So the first picture that I have, it's the workflow and organizational structure that Henri Fayol talks about for his 14 principles of management in the Scholar chain. One of the things that Disney does extremely well that I appreciate working for them, and I'm sure everybody coming in new to the company appreciates, is that every cast member, every person working there has access to how we can look up the organizational structure of our company. There's pictures everywhere of who is the CEO, which is Bob Iger, who's in charge of Disneyland, who's in charge of Walt Disney World of Florida, consumer products. There's so many different aspects to the Walt Disney Company, and that doesn't include the companies that they own, including ABC and ESPN. So it's really important that we have that system that it's called the hub, and it's called roster, so we can pull up somebody's name and we can see who they're in charge of, all the hourly cast members, and then the managements that are under them, and then also who's in charge of them, who they respond to if something happens. And then the picture on the right is kind of just, everybody working together in the chain. No matter what order of the chain that you're in, you're having that cohesiveness of working together. And then I really enjoyed Mary Parker Follett's chapter. It's probably one of my favorite chapters that we've read so far. I really like the idea that she has throughout her chapter of, giving orders and kind of the psychology behind it as well, because I think it's something that everybody struggles with no matter what your job is how to give orders and then taking orders as well. I really enjoyed the first picture because sometimes I know that's how some of us can feel when we are receiving orders, but I love how she discusses on page 61, our job is not how to get people to obey orders, but how to devise methods by which we can best discover the order integral to a particular situation. So depending on the situation, we're going to have to figure out how to, obey orders, but then also how to give orders. So I think it's really important that reading throughout this chapter that we're going through these examples, and everybody wants to feel valued and having that dignity and having a positive environment. And then reading through her chapter, you really understand on how to get that, and she really explains the psychology behind it, and then having how to give orders a little bit better. And then I also want to touch base a little bit on Elton Mayo, just because I think he ties in well with both, especially when, he when he talks about people's work performances depend on both social relationships and job content. It's really important to have those relationships at work because it helps you perform better. And then even in public administration, even in government, you really can't get your job done if you don't have those personal relationships at work. So you can work together better as a team, and then improves performance. And then this last slide, I want to discuss the concept that holds true today, at least for me, is having that information that Fayol talks about in one of his 14 principles of management, is having that Scholar chain where you can see kind of who is in charge. And this picture is what we call the hub at the Disneyland Resort, and this is where we can find all the information that we need when we want to look somebody up on who's in charge. We have the responsibility, the accountability of looking that up, so we know who we're going to be talking to if we need something. If we need to talk to somebody in a different department, you know exactly how to go to. And then one concept that may need to be changed or updated, I know one of the 14 principles of management by Fayol is the esprit de corps. Kind of, not everybody loves that quote, it's all on who you know to get the positions that you want, but really getting that person that fits well within the team. Not just because that they know somebody that they get the position, it's do they fit well in the puzzle. And that's my presentation, and I hope you enjoy it. Have a good weekend.